Lauren Boebert's son, Tyler, today in a court in Colorado, pled guilty to a felony count of identity theft. Now, he was facing 22 other charges. This plea deal allows him to serve 2 years probation, no jail time. He does have community service he has to do, and I think there's some fines. But if he successfully completes his probation and keeps his nose clean for 2 years, the felony will be dropped from his record. He won't have to deal with having a felony conviction for the rest of his life. Now, that's a very generous plea, but they took into account the fact that he was 18 at the time these crimes were committed, and he was very young, and first-time offender. They didn't want him marred with a felony going through for the rest of his life. And normally I wouldn't talk about something like this, but remember, Republicans like to drag Joe Biden down when Joe Biden was in the race for all of the misdeeds of Hunter, because Hunter had a drug problem. Hunter had issues with his taxes, etc. So they like to use that to go against Joe Biden and say Joe Biden couldn't be president because his son is a felon. Never mind the fact that Donald Trump is a felon and they're supporting him, but they were trying to use the misdeeds of Hunter as some kind of a gotcha against Joe Biden. Well, where's the same calls coming out of the Republican Party now about Lauren Boebert because her son's a felon? You're not going to hear them. And that's kind of the point. Republicans like to do this game where they will find anything that they can about anybody and point it out and drag it down and make them out to be a horrible person, etc., and do the personal attacks and all this. But they don't hold their own accountable like the Democrats do. Now, don't get me wrong, Democrats have their own issues. And Republicans have occasionally done the right thing, like what they did with George Santos. But more times than not, they make excuses, they ignore it, they gloss over it, and they'll probably say, well, he was an 18-year-old kid, Hunter Biden was much older. Point is, in either instance, the parent didn't commit the crime, the child did. But they want to hold Joe Biden accountable for the misdeeds of Hunter and not say anything about Lauren Boebert and the misdeeds of her son. That's just how the Republican Party works. Everything is all about rules for thee and not for me. They don't hold their own accountable, but they hold the Democrats to a much higher standard.